Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, Season 2, Episode 6, Jebs Rescue. Bill has been tasked with the job of going to retrieve Jeb after his more than successful Minmus flight out of the back of a space plane, but his return was about 2 hours too early, and he landed on a separate continent. Well, we won't get much for recovering the capsule anyway, so we're just going to go pick up Jeb and retrieve that ever-important science. We pick up Bill here at very high Mach, at decent altitude, starting to make his approach in Time Warp. This was just a purpose-built Atmo-only craft for this specific mission. We've called it the Ranger. Triple turbojets, very obviously Mach capable. And I was really hoping to get to Jeb before nightfall. It does not look like that is going to happen. But now that we're only maybe 200 or 300 kilometers away, it's time to start slowing down, as we'll get there very, very fast. And night descends upon him. We still have contact through our satellite network. No, most of those satellites up there are pretty old. Oh, that's a pretty shot. And I can comment on it now that it is over. Yeah. So, even though it's turbojet only powered, we can still manage to hit a nice cruising altitude of 36 kilometers. Amazing things. These little, I'd say this is probably like what, a medium weight. I'll say I really like building ultralights for SSTOs. Obviously, it's not an SSTO, but ultralight aircraft are just so much fun to play around with. They don't serve much purpose as far as utility or really doing much of anything except goofing off and having fun. I recently got a chance to play around with the Dark multiplayer mod for Kerbal Space Program, and for all its little buggy annoyances, it is a lot of fun just to build little ultralights and just go zipping around Kerbin. Because really in multiplayer, you never know when if you leave a spacecraft out somewhere to go do something else or to bring up another part or something, if someone else is going to commandeer it and land it, crash something into it, or if it's just going to completely disappear at random, which was really annoying. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna do some more playing around with the Dark multiplayer mod, and maybe we'll see some episodes on that coming up later. Not really anytime soon. I got a lot of stuff I still have to work through here. Alright. There's our pod. I apologize for it being nightfall. I really wanted to get here sooner than this, but even at, like Mach 4, Mach 5, this was the absolute quickest anyone could get here to retrieve poor Jeb, who's been stranded out here for hours with no snacks. Bill, you dick. I hope you brought snacks along as an apology. Or I guess coming to bring Jeb home might be enough of an apology. Maybe. Anyway, we're starting our approach on a nighttime landing. With anybody who's landed planes here in Kerbal Space Program knows the inherent difficulties in landing on anything other than a runway. It's always bumpy. Stability's a problem. Alright. Landing lights on, gear down. We're still a couple of kilometers away, but we don't want to overshoot and have to turn around, because that's way more of a problem than just kicking the engines back on. Bounce a little bit. Oh, bounce some more. Alright. More or less on the ground. Sort of. Little tail flare there. Get us pointed at least in the right direction. So Jeb's landing was really only a degree or two off of the equator, which is really amazing for such a... I mean, he made that burn from Minmus and did a braking burn once he was about to hit Atmo, but being so close to the equator, if he had just left 2 hours or so later, he would have practically landed on top of KSC, and that would have been really cool. But I am not that good, obviously. I'm working on it, but not that good. So, alright, Bill, be easy here, buddy. Come on, man. It's hard to keep it both on the ground and moving at a rate that's not going to take forever. But especially at night, it's hard to see all these hills and these little bumps. Yeah, we can't quite see the pod. So there must be another big hill. Yep. Oh. Well. It's a good thing we brought 2 more. Oh, bummer. Bill, you broke it. You broke my Ranger, Bill. It's coming out of your paycheck, buddy. Alright. Yeah, we can start to really slow down now. We're not that far away. Yep, less than a kilometer. And yeah, it looks like just one more hill to peak and we'll be there. So yeah, we're probably going to have to spool these engines up a little bit more. But, you know, maybe not. Let's see if we can't just roll it. Let's hit the wrong button for the camera. Alright, there's the pod. Yeah, let's get a little closer. Alright. This is a good place to park. Alright, fine, Bill, get a little closer. You know, perfectionist, whatever. Don't want to bother him with your headlights now, do you? Alright. Yeah, let's shed some light on him. Why not? Come on now. Not that far. You know you're like bending up the ladder and stuff, huh? Just to be really annoying, huh? Alright. You're not gonna come out on his own, go knock on the door. Knock, knock. Knock. Hey, buddy. Jeb, are you happy to see him? Yeah, okay, you're happy to see him. Don't forget the science. That's really why we're here. Jeb, you're obviously expendable. Okay, no, you're not. You're part of the Invincible trio. The orange suits of awesome. We wouldn't just leave you out here. Double check. No more science to be had. Alright. Let's get this little guy home. You're probably hungry, aren't you, Jeb? No, Jeb. I didn't bring any snacks. Alright. Now, since we lost that engine, we really should move some fuel around to try to correct our balance. We want it right around the center of mass currently. I mean, obviously still a little ahead of the center of mass, but we're going to have to make up for that loss of mass of the engine. These turbojets are actually pretty heavy, so we'll pump a little fuel back and let's go ahead and roll these engines up and turn around and go home. So we're going to use that first big hill kind of as a launch ramp. Hit it. Alright, and we're up. Kill the lights. Goose the throttle. Correct our heading. And last but not least, let's get some altitude, guys. Lots and lots of altitude. These engines perform much, much better at higher altitudes. I mean, to an extent, I think they kind of hit their premium between 10 and 20,000 meters. It's where they really start to make lots of power. And, oh, a little too much wiggling there. This is the fun part about physics-enabled time warp, is things just kind of bounce around. Now, I did put parachutes on this because I'm really not the best pilot, and if something went absolutely terribly wrong, the science that Jeb is carrying is far too valuable. So let's We got plenty of fuel. We could probably circumnavigate this place if we wanted to, but in the interest of saving some of it, we're going to try to get a whole lot of altitude so we can throttle back and just kind of float on in. But we got to try to keep our heading straight. This is the cool part about multi-continental travel. You can leave at the day, arrive at night, and then get back there the same day, during day. Pretty cool, right? I mean, really, if they had time zones on Kerbin, this could probably constitute as time travel. See, it's how they probably left at like, what, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They get there at 9 o'clock at night, and then they return home at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They went into the future. Or the past, maybe? I'm all spun around. It's early in the morning, and I don't really feel like thinking about these things. Time, space, etc., etc. And so now the, what really is kind of a long, boring, straight line shot home, but good job for Jeb for getting his heading so perfect that we can pretty much just watch this from map view and just let it happen. Alright. Now that we're not that far away, we're going to go ahead and kill the engines and just start our coasting approach, which will get mighty flame coated. I think we're actually coming in a little too high and fast. So, hey, there's a satellite. We're going to try to shed some speed and hopefully not lose parts of the aircraft. Like what happened to Bill when he came home. Which is why we've decided to retire the old SPS design. Because it was obviously old and has been doing multiple flights and has started to fall apart. Literally. So we're going to retire that design. We're going to come up with a new one. Probably something a little bigger so we can cart bigger cargoes into space. Because with bigger cargoes means bigger targets. With remote tech, we have this cool thing called a flight computer, which I've only very recently started to delve into figuring out how it works, computing with signal delays and all of that other neat stuff. Which really basically means that you can load a program into the flight computer and tell it when to execute certain maneuvers or certain headings or perform certain tasks despite it not having a signal. Which I want to get more into that a little later. But that could definitely be a topic for Bill and Jeb to sit here and discuss on their flight home. Because if we can get drone aircraft working, then there might not be a need for them to blow themselves up on re-entry. Alright, looks like we've got a pretty good heading. We should probably just shed a little bit of this altitude. Try to stave off some of the speed in the thicker air down low. And definitely correct some of this balance. It's getting a little difficult. Landings are always the most stressful part of any aircraft operation. And man, is it... I used to be kind of good at getting my heading just right from much, much further out, but I have just been failing at it miserably. So, alright, gently guys, come on. Gently, gently. Okay. Yeah, we're a little fast. But little low. Alright. Kill it. Kill the engines. Bounce. Oh. Oh, that wobble always makes me sick to my stomach. I'm so scared it's going to roll and snap a wing. Alright. Are we going to stop on the runway? Hey, there's Bob. Hey, Bob. Alright. That'll do it today, guys. Thanks for joining us for Jebs Rescue.